Alright, what's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to make an educational video on how absolutely anyone brand new to the game can take Teemo Jungle with one spec and two options of items and be a prominent, confident jungler in gold queue, and even take this same spec and same items build into diamond just to make your games easier on the climb. What other character can absolutely have no problem with health or mana, even though in lane he has an expensive mana cost? And I go back into the jungle with 200 life and 100 mana. And watch how much I heal off of this. I go invisible, and boom, I'm back to half life, half mana off of just the Gromp. What other jungler can do that without building a heal item? All I have is a Nashor's Tooth here. He also has incredible movement speed. He is a very, very simple to learn champion. One of his abilities is completely passive. You can never activate it. The other one is simply speed, and you basically activate it anytime you're in a situation. I have incredible movement speed. See, boom, dodged. That slight movement speed always throws people off. The auto. And so he probably thinks I'm back, and I'm only 500 life. He could easily kill me. But she's on it, so I'm here. Oh, and then here comes the other guy. Dodge because of the movement speed. And we're out. Movement speed is a valuable, valuable thing in this game, and I feel like as Teemo, having a passive and having another easy to activate skill, just whenever you're in a scenario you activate it, makes so you can focus and learn other portions of the game rather than only learning how to fight, how to fight, how to fight. You're learning, okay, how can I micro inside of this fight more on small amounts of abilities that I do have. And that's how you get the perfect blind and the perfect shroom. So let's see what this one is. So here's what I'm gonna say is, like, this is micro. This is where you can go in, and I will completely knock out this Jinx here. Look at she's targeting me, has to, because I'm going to engage on her and blind her. Everyone turned around. There's shrooms everywhere. Boom, they're all in the shrooms. MF just gets a free ulti. I died, but the Jinx didn't get to auto anybody. And that's what I'm saying is, like, I got to focus more on the micro of entering into the fight rather than how to fight, how to get that perfect skill shot from downtown. I don't have to worry about that, because all I have to do is make sure that the target that I know needs to be blinded is blinded for the survival of the most important person. And you get to choose that. Who is doing the best on your team? It might be you, but it might also be that other guy that's mid lane. It might be your AD carry. It might be the support. Here's just a big clip of what you could do with Teemo here. They are taking the dragon. We are losing this game. I am 2-2-2, and this is an emerald game. All the games I play are emerald or diamond. I smite the dragon. They walk on the first room I threw. I throw another one. They walk onto that one. All I have is boots and a dagger, and I stole the dragon and got a triple kill. This is how Teemo can change a team fight. Can Teemo change a team fight? Oh yeah. Now that's Teemo changing a team fight. So a good question is, who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, my name is XNotloc. I've played Teemo jungle for the past maybe 3 or 4 seasons. Before that, I played Teemo top, and I didn't find enough value in top, so I took him to jungle. Since then, I've climbed to diamond twice as Teemo jungle, very simply, just by trying to make the games easier for me. I have 10,000 epic monster kills, proving that I am mainly a Teemo jungle. I do not like the top lane anymore. I cannot find the value there. So if you'd like to make it easier, here you go. Follow this. I can show you right here. I went on kind of a crazy streak from going from support back into the jungle. I went 13-1, and then 9-2, and then 9-3, all the way straight up to diamond in 3 days. I'm going to talk as much about jungling and how you can confidently counter jungle and where to position, so that way you're the most ready for what's going to happen in the game. When you're a jungler, you're basically playing chess versus the enemy jungler. I want you to focus on beating the enemy jungler. So you're going to go with Dark Harvest here, and Ultimate Hunter is a great one for Teemo to make sure that his shrooms are highly able to take over the map. After you get level 11 with your Malignance, you should be able to almost completely take over the map where it's hard for them to move about, and they're hitting shrooms just to enter the team fight. They're coming in about 25-50% lower. Makes the team fights very simple. The reason why what's different in our build comparison to most other Teemo junglers is we go for coup de grace and alacrity. Alacrity just helps move you through the jungle and get those extra auto attacks that you normally wouldn't, but coup de grace is a big one. We're going for Dark Harvest, we're going for executions. We want to be a strong mage that shows up and puts heavy damage to finish the units. That's what our goal is as Teemo jungle. So we're going to try to stack our Dark Harvest as high as possible by getting early Dark Harvest stacks that might not be a kill. So after this part here, once you have that spec, here's how you are going to build. You're going to start off with the fire jungle item, the Scorched Claw Pup, and a Stealth Ward. You do not buy the health potion because it is important that on your first back you get 1,000 gold. You will clear a full jungle, you will get level 4, you will get your scuttle, you will battle for your one scuttle, and if you can get your second scuttle, you will, but then after you get 1,000 gold, you can go ahead and back. If you see an opportunity to gank, go ahead and gank. Put pressure on the lanes, that is our job, but we are going to focus on farming. We don't care about ganks as much as we care about farming. As long as we stay ahead of everybody, we're going to outscale them, and then we're going to put mushrooms in their way so that way they can't enter the team fights later on. And then we're going to win through objective control by throwing the shrooms in the right spots prior to the objective coming up. After you get done, you're now fighting. Your next item will be Gnasher's Tooth, and then you will finish your boots. You will get Liandry's and Malignance every single time. Now this is where the build kind of changes. This is the final build if there is no anti-heal and no magic resist needed. Now I don't find that a lot of the times. So a lot of the times, like I said, if there are two healers based off of the character they are, aka Briar and Aatrox, I will get this. And typically I will try to get it right here in between. The more prevalent it is, try to get it earlier. Right here's a good spot. And if you're doing very well, get it after your Liandry's. Now if they have a ton of magic resist, you need to get a Void Staff. Even if they get two people with Merc Treads, it is worth getting a Void Staff. It starts to build because of your tick damage is so low. The easier that they have magic resist, it lowers your tick damage even harder. I personally do not find much value in the Rabadon's Death Cap. I find higher value in the Shadow Flame because I am an execute mage. I'm trying to come in, get my Dark Harvest, crit you for 1,000, and finish the kill. When I'm fighting tanks, I'm throwing a lot of shrooms, and my Liandry's is going to do the work versus the tanks. As versus any squishy, I'm going to come up and I'm going to Gnasher's Tooth. I'm going to auto, Q, auto. They should be bleeding out, hopefully with the shroom throwing under their feet, dying. Okay? So as I said, these are the only two options that you actually have. Is do they have magic resist? Do you need to get magic resist? And do they have a lot of healing? Now you don't need to build this all the way into the book until the very last item. This does the same amount of anti-heal as the book. The book just gives you a little bit more health and a little bit of cooldowns. So go ahead and hold your orb for as long as you need. And of course at the end, if you have enough gold, make sure that you're always buying a red ward to try to get it in that perfect red ward spot. And then go ahead and get yourself, anytime that you're over cash, go ahead and buy the elixirs. Now let's say you make it to where you're selling boots. The next best item would be Cosmic Drive. Okay? So if you sell your boots and now you're something like this, this would be a book, that's all right. Because the Cosmic Drive makes up for the movement speed that you're losing with your boots. But typically, this is about how far you'll get before the game's over. For your first jungle clear, you are going to always start this season. You will always start top side and then clear towards bottom and gank bottom. You want bottom control this season specifically because dragon spawns early and the grubs spawn later. There's only one set of grubs, so it's not worth putting as much pressure up there as to getting dragon after dragon and spiraling that into a soul. So we're going to talk about ganks. First things first, let's say your bottom's like this. To start, you're going to watch your red. Then as the timer comes towards 30 seconds, you're going to go back up here and you're going to start your blue. Doesn't matter your pathing. In case someone's in this bush, beware. But you're going to come back over after watching your red. You're going to start your blue. You're going to go your gromp. You're going to do your wolves. Then you're going to go to your chickens. You're going to do your red. Boom, boom. Now, at this point, it should be that this is spawn and walking. If you already saw that their jungler did the same, and he is already fighting this and killing it, you're looking for a gank instead. Honestly, most times, junglers will clear this and then be here before you. That means that you come in behind them. So if they're pushed up here, I want you to come in behind. Now, if let's say that they're back here and their jungler is coming, that doesn't mean you can't come in behind the jungler. But this jungler has a better position to kill these people. So if your mid is pushed up like this, maybe your bottom is having an okay fight, they're going to live, then look for a gank mid instead. Either way, put a little pressure on the lanes. If this guy is like this, he is having a hard time in his lane getting priority, and you showing up and making that guy take those 10 steps back towards his tower where he's not putting pressure on the waves now allows this guy to get enough farm and now start maybe taking a lead in his lane. You didn't get a kill. Maybe you didn't even get a Dark Harvest. Maybe you didn't even get to attack him. But it made this guy have free farm for that 15 seconds of relievance. And that is what helps the lanes. Now, after we get our 1,000 gold, we should both back. This guy should also be back, and he finished his. Maybe he goes for this other scuttle. We don't know. If he does take this scuttle and you don't see an opportunity, you can take this scuttle to make sure that you have that 1,000 gold. When you back, you're going to get your items. In the first back, you're going to get boots, recurve bow, and the Oracle lens. If you have 75 gold extra, I want you to buy a red ward. And we will talk later about where to put these red wards for a perfect red ward that will basically give you free diamond if you continue to try to keep this ward for the vision of your team. So as far as once you're back, now you're going to, okay, if this top laner is getting pressured heavy, you can say, okay, if this guy is low HP, he's a free Dark Harvest stack, you want to try to get your Dark Harvest stacks. Sorry, my nose itches. All right, let's get past that. All right, so you want to try to get your Dark Harvest stacks. Basically, if this guy is low enough to get a Dark Harvest stack, I want you to come up here and once again, relieve pressure off this guy. Hopefully you get your Dark Harvest stack. Hopefully you get him to flash. Maybe you even get a kill. If he is in the tower and you think you can flash and kill him and then walk out with one tower hit, sure. But I want you to remember you are not a tower diver as Teemo, okay? So this is a good spot to gank. This is a bad spot to gank. I don't want to come up here if this guy's here. I can maybe really help if this guy's very low and they're both in the middle. And I want to say, okay, I want to burn his flash. I want to try to get this guy to be a gank next time. I will come up here and put pressure. And hopefully I get my Dark Harvest stack. If not, hopefully I get a flash. And boom, now this guy has an opportunity because he's up a flash. Remember that flashes are the highest priority of all spells. They take 5 minutes to come back, as where an ulti usually takes about a minute. So if you get someone's flash, then this guy now has priority over top of this guy. So now that we have returned, we got our recurve bow and our boots, there's nowhere to gank maybe. That's fine. Let's just go back to farming. Remember, we are not a gank champion. We're only ganking to relieve pressure and try to get our Dark Harvest stacks. Now, if we get kills, thank you. Honestly, a lot of the times, you'll get them low, you'll get your Dark Harvest stack, you'll go back to farming, and the laner will kill them for you. And you did your job as a jungler. Good work. So let's say there was no gank. You're going to just start clearing again. You're going to come back up here. You're going to get your Gromp. You're going to get your wolves. You're going to get your chickens. And you're going to get your rocks. Now, I will say, I want to point out something heavily about this season, that the dragon spawns so early that, okay, we're both back. Let's do it as a different scenario. You backed, you got just 1,000 gold. You didn't get any kills. You're going to get your recurve bow and your boots, and you now know that dragon's going to come up. Well, this guy also wants to contest dragon based off of the way that he was clearing. He cleared top, and then he cleared bottom. To gain tempo and to be ahead of your junglers, you can always only do your inside camps by starting your wolves. You can come back. There's no ganks possible. We're going to do our wolves. We're going to do our chickens. And because we got at least one scuttle and we did these 2 camps, now we are level 5 for the objective. You want to make sure that you are level 5 for the objective, because if you're not level 5, then the enemy jungler will be. Another thing that we can talk about that a lot of people don't talk about. So at level 5, let's say that you're going to contest this. The jungler's also trying to contest it. Now it's heavily on bottom lane whether you guys can actually secure this, or mid lane. If your mid lane is like this, you can expect your mid lane to be able to help. If your mid lane is like this, you cannot expect your mid lane to help you with the objective. Now your bottom lane is in a position to be able to help you, but that doesn't mean that their bottom lane support hasn't already warded and gotten ready. So if your support is not positioned correctly, sometimes in this meta, you can just skip the dragon until they're ready to contest the dragon. So if your bottom is not ready and they're just fighting and they want to continue to fight, go ahead and skip the dragon and go back to farming. Get all your camps. Now your blue should be coming back up. Make sure you're clearing everything again. Remember, farm is more important than ganks. We only want to gank if we're going to get a dark harvest stack, a flash, or a kill. If we're not going to get those 3 things and they just need heavy pressure, like this person's significantly losing, they're 0-5, we can't kill this guy. They're in a losing lane. We can try to help them if it's a character that we don't get countered by. If it's an Aatrox, I'm going to stay away from him. I'm going to let that guy lose, and I'm going to go win a winning lane. But if this guy's heavily losing and it's a character like someone like Nasus or someone that you can try to help at least give relievance of, you can just come up here, poke him off. That way this guy gets a little bit of free farm, and then you go back to farm. Now, when to counter jungle and when not to counter jungle. Okay, so everybody's pretty much at a stalemate. Let's not say that any gank lane's real that gankable. We all just started, okay? This is back to minute 1. At minute 1, we can talk about splitting the map like this, okay? So obviously this guy, he's going to start and he wants to clear up both his sides. Now I want to clear up both my sides. But let's say that this guy does it opposite to me, and he does it in a different manner to where he thinks that he is a Shaco jungle. He wants to put early pressure onto bottom lane. So he is going to do it differently, as where I want to gank level 4, he's going to clear his bottom side, get level 3, and gank bottom early. He's hoping that they're in a better position. Maybe he gets a good gank off. Maybe he even kills bottom. You don't care. You started top side to help your bottom at level 4. Okay, he has spent too much time down here. You know he hasn't done his red buff. Let's talk about changing the way that we split this, okay? Let's cut the map like this instead. And now we're going to go and we're going to take his red buff. If he's still down here and he's still messing around, you see, okay, he got too low. He's now got it back. I'm going to go ahead and take his chickens as well. Now the chickens at level 2 is very risky, and I would recommend starting to get this at a later level. But at level 2, if you take his red and he's still dicking around down here, go ahead and take his chickens. But if not, after you clear his red, I want you to come back, finish your wolves, but skip your Gromp. If you are invading and you are taking their side, you need to skip your outside camps so that way you have enough momentum and tempo behind you to be at the same position where they see it wrong. So this guy messed around. You took level 2, just his red buff. Now you're doing his wolves. He backed. He's going to come here. He's going to do this. Now you're doing this. So you're at the same position. Once he's come to his red, you're already doing your red. You're taking his camp, so that's down 1 for him. Plus you got it, so that's up 1 for you. You're up 2 camps just by taking 1 camp. Now you're doing your own camp, you're up 3 camps. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and finish our clear, and we're going to gank bottom. He's going to go ahead and gank top or gank middle because he has nothing to do up here. He's going to get the Gromp, and he's going to gank, or the Scuttle, and then he's going to gank one of these 2 lanes. Now, if he can't gank, let's say both these lanes are pushed like this, and he can't gank them, he's going to get this Scuttle, he's going to get this Scuttle, and he's going to try to return back bottom. Okay? Because this guy's an early jungler, he wants to put heavy pressure bottom as early as he can. Now, if he's out of position again, let's say, okay, he's ganking bottom, you cleared up, and you backed because he got this Scuttle, you knew he got it, you already cleared up this Scuttle, so now he's coming down here. If you see that he's down here again, this is where at level 4, 5-ish, depending on how you're playing, you can invade and take his chickens. So the chickens are the easiest to take as a camp because it is easy entry, easy exit if somebody does see you. As where if you're trying to get somebody's wolf, you have to run 12 extra steps just to get anywhere. So I want you to always think as their enemy chickens is always open. So now let's say it's just a normal game. He backed. We're both back at level 4. Okay. Now we don't see him on the map. We expect him to do the same thing. He started bottom. He's going to clear bottom, and he's going to try to clear these 2 and try to get here. So that way he's level 5 at the dragon. So after we took his red, we're going to come. So now we're both back. I took his red. I'm up 3 camps, remember. This is on a counter jungle. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get my inside camps to get level 5, and then I am going to contest the dragon. Now remember, I can't contest the dragon based off of where my middle is. If my middle is pushed up like this, I can expect my middle to help. Now if all of my lanes are losing and they're all pressured heavy, maybe you just want to continue to farm and get your levels. Remember, farm is better than ganks. So with that being said, now this guy is heavily playing bottom after he got the dragon. Their bottom helped. Okay, now he's going to re-gank bottom again because their bottom helped. He wants to repay the favor. His red is now up because you've been farming. You're back up here and you're farming again. Well, his red is back up. You're going to continue to take his red because he let you split it like this. Now, I will say, if you are going to play on this side, you're going to continue to take top side. You are probably going to play for top side. You're going to gank top a lot, and you're going to try to get top objectives. Remember, this season, we want to try to play for bottom. So no matter what, if you are continuing to invade his topside jungle, I still need you to put pressure on bottom, relieve the pressure that their jungler is putting. So they're here, their jungler is trying to clear now. He realized, oh shoot, you took my red for the second time. I should have been here. Now you're cutting the map too much. And he's probably up here while you can gank bottom. Now maybe you're not looking for a kill because their bottom should be significantly ahead because they've had 2 ganks from a jungler and you haven't shown presence here because they've been in a position where the jungler has more pressure there. But you've put pressure onto the jungler and you're now winning the jungle. And if you're versing a Shaco, wait until level 11. See what happens when he can't walk through his own jungle without being on shrooms. Okay? So don't always worry about, oh, I haven't ganked enough. I want you to continue to farm and continue to win versus the enemy jungler. Now, if we continue to split it now like this, I'm taking the top side. I'm trying to get buffs. Buffs are the main priority. I'm always getting the buffs, and I'm still going to try to at least get my bottom side buff. But I don't want you to think that that doesn't mean that you can't get his bottom side buffs. So there's been times where I often see that the map does start to split in half, top and bottom. This guy's ganked bottom early. We're in the same game. He's ganked bottom twice. I took his red buff. He just showed up to his red buff. I've cleared my blue buff and my wolves. I'm at my chickens, and I more than likely dropped a ward in his bush right here, so I can see that he is showing up to his red buff. Well, I know that there hasn't been enough time for him to do his blue buff. He's not wearing it. So I'm going to go ahead and skip the rest of my jungle and take his jungle. Why? Because I know my jungle's safe. It's still alive. And unless he is able to invade my jungle with help from somebody else, then I should look at trying to take his jungle, especially if my laner is looking like this. Because this means that mid is open to come and help with the blue. And even if it's like this, if this is dead stalemate, this is an obvious support should be positioning to be able to help the jungler at all times. Support should be able to come up and help absolutely anyone. This is a support. This doesn't say AD carry support. This is a support role. They support who is the best player. And you do the same as the jungler. You choose who the best player is, and you're going to repeatedly gank them and make them so far ahead that the other guy quits. Okay, I believe I've talked a lot about the how to jungle, where to go at what moments. Like I said, basically I just want you to continue the route. If you start topside, continue to put these on timers. Try to get only inside camps. If you're behind, you need more tempo. If you feel like the enemy jungler is farming faster than you, inside camp, inside camp. And the outside camp here is good. The Gromp is a very difficult one for Teemo to kill. Has a lot of health and it's only a single target. I want you to save your smites for objectives. Now this is not only large objectives, but also the scuttles. Anytime that there's a scuttle coming up, you should be on that side of the map, and the other jungle will also be there. But you need to be able to smite versus him, because he might be a Nunu that's going to eat it or something. So I want you to always save your smite as Teemo for the scuttles and for the larger objectives. Okay? So let's say it's just a basic game here. We both start top. We both clear towards bottom. We both, try to fight for the scuttle here. And he gets the scuttle. I get this scuttle. He ganks bottom. We both back. There's no kills. It doesn't matter whether he gets kills, you get kills. You gank top, you didn't get a kill. It doesn't matter. Okay? You're both going to do the same thing. You're going to clear again. Okay? You're going to come here and you're going to clear. Now, a lot of normal games, people just clear. And then maybe you get a gank. Then you back. And you're just going to continue to farm. I want you to make sure that if your jungle timers are up, you're farming them as much as you can. If your jungle is up and they are taking it, as I said, they are going to be getting ahead of you, because then that means that you're possibly taking farm from the laner, which is not what you want to do. You want to force them to where you're taking their farm. Oh shoot, he killed my chickens and now he's gone. I don't have anything to farm. I'm going to come in and take a couple CS because my mid's back. Well, now you've pushed the wave and our mid's farming under tower and your mid's coming back and he's missing farm. Okay, so if you're taking farm from the lanes, it's bad. Now, if your mid does back, I want you to hold the tower, but I only want you to take the CS that is going to die to the tower. It's important not to push your lanes forward. If you push your lanes forward, that changes the momentum that they had, and you and yourself are losing tempo because you're not clearing your camps. Sometimes people get very caught up on ganking and trying to put pressure on their lanes. That's not the 100% way to win. If you fall behind in farm, you're going to be worth less than the guy that has 50 farm on top of you. You always want to gank a lane. If I am this blue jungler, I always want to gank a lane that is like this. I don't want to try to push and tower dive. It's too risky to try to secure that kill. If this guy's all the way back here, he has to run, 12 steps as opposed to 2 steps to safety. I want him to flash, use something to get to safety. If he flashes here, he's to safety. It's too late. I don't want to be ganking under tower, in my opinion. It's not a safe kill unless you are playing a dive champion. Here I'm going to show a time. I believe this is where the Volibear. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, it's a Nunu. Okay, so this Nunu, we go ahead and we gank bottom. Okay. Hopefully we can edit this out. Alright, we go ahead and we gank bottom here, okay? And the Nunu just ganked bottom. Now we're re-ganking it with him. He's also ganking again. So he's ganked twice now. So So I come around and I see that he's going to come for the scuttle. I go ahead and steal it because I'm here first. He's half life. I get healed off the scuttle. My Zed's going to help me because he had priority pushing the tower like we were talking about. I'm going to come around and I'm going to go ahead and grab the other scuttle. Now, I go back and I come for bottom. And I get the dragon. After he knows that I got the dragon, I'm looking at bottom and I gank bottom. At this point here, I have put up too much pressure onto bottom. I have chosen bottom side. He is going to take my red because I've given him plenty of an opening. And if he didn't, then he's a silver jungler and you'll probably smoke him anyway. Okay, so I'll even say it right here. I've given up my red, but it's probably worth. Lost my red, but worth. In chat. Alright, so at this point, after he has taken my red, he should continue to take my red. So I go over and I realize that, okay, he's taken my red. Look, our mid is pushed in enough. Our bottom is winning. We're trading sides. So now I'm going to take his red. Like I said, chickens are open enough of a camp to be able to take with the buff. Now, it's too hard to take wolves in my opinion, so I typically never do. He's going to get the top objective because he's playing for top. Now at this point is where he should come back and take my red side, but he didn't take even my chickens. And so now I continue to clear, and he should still be playing for top. There you go. He ganked top again. He is playing for top. He needs to continue to clear all of the top jungle, never letting me get ahead of camps. Anytime that I take your camp and you don't take my camp, I'm ahead 2 camps. Because I took yours, that's down 1 camp. And I got my own. So technically, you're down 1, and I'm up 1 because I stole yours, and I got my own. You're down 3 camps. If your camp is stolen, you need to put pressure to try to steal your camps back. You can do that by only doing inside camps. So here's a couple of things that other people have actually taught me, and I want you guys to always be willing to listen to the other people on your team. Just because they are the same rank as you doesn't mean that they haven't seen something that you have not. So I will forever remember this side right here. I was versing a Volibear and I got an early dragon, and this is where I learned how to counter jungle. He said, if you take the early dragon, you will give up your entire topside jungle. This was a couple seasons ago, and this is where counter jungling was first heavily involved, and they started trying to nerf it. So if you're going to, just as I showed, if you're going to put heavy pressure on bottom, and you're going to get that early dragon, you're going to give up your top side jungle, and you need to be willing to try to approach their bottom side jungle then. So this is all he said, was there's always a way out of early game. If you're losing the early game, just get all the tier 1s. This will push you out of losing the early game into mid game, and maybe, just maybe, that'll give you enough to start being able to roll the ball into your favor. Right here, this season, if you are behind and you are trying to catch up to the other jungler, if you're ahead and you can get outside camps, that's extra gold and extra tempo in your favor. But only getting outside camps will help you build tempo, so that way you can show up to more of those team fights. And this season, because the way that they changed the dragon spawning so early, grub spawning late, only 1 grub spawn, and the fact that you only have to get 2 grubs, you should just play for bottom every single time. You should start top side, work your way bottom, gank bottom level 4, do a full clear, try to get a scuttle crab, and back. You should only get 1 scuttle crab. Now, if you know you could get the second scuttle crab, like I showed in that clip earlier, yes, get the second scuttle crab. But if you can get 1 scuttle crab, you've won your half of the jungle. I would back, and every time I am jungling with Teemo, I jungle until I have 1,000 gold, and then I back. Only 1 set of grub spawn, And we're looking at scale. The grubs do not give you as much scaling as getting 4 dragons and getting this hole. So I'm always focused on trying to get objective by showing up between 30 and 20 seconds early so I can get presence with wards and shrooms. I will show all the spots for shrooms if it's not already in the video. Free ranks for defending your jungler's jungle at the start of game. Let me go ahead and show you guys what exactly I am talking about. Alright, let's expand it for the kids down in the back, okay? Look at, you see this? Morgana's coming right here. Boom. In the top bush. Boom. Watching the red. Boom. Watching my own blue. Boom. Watching the bottom entrance. Every entrance is watched. If they come in through here, I have plenty of room to go to safety with my teammates down here. This person should easily be able to make it to here, then to here. Either way, you need to be watching your junglers, and if she doesn't want to stand in that bush, you should stand a little in the open, so that way you can make it to this tower. But you need to be watching your jungler's jungle. This will give you a free rank. Because if your jungler gets invaded and he's down 2 camps off the start, and then he gets his own, we talked about that. Now your jungler's down 3 camps. You're making it such a fight for your jungler. So who's Herald? Herald is not worth as much as a Drake. Stop putting so much value on Herald. I only want you to put value on Herald if you're heavily behind and it is a bonus objective. Once again, grubs, if you're gonna get grubs, only get 2. If you don't have backup from the team, you need to keep your tempo. I want you to get 2 grubs, get out, and keep farming. Oh, try to always get top laner to pick up the Herald. Try to always get top laner, to pick up the Herald so you can continue to scan. And he can get more value out of the Herald because he's split pushing with it. I am never split pushing. I want to be in team fights. I'm a jungler. They expect me to be there for ganks. I don't care about split pushing. I shouldn't be holding lanes. I should be farming the jungle. If I'm not farming the jungle, the enemy jungler is farming the jungle, meaning I'm taking CS from my AD carry or my mid or my top that should be getting that farm, and I should be getting jungle. When you go to a team fight, I want you to think about, am I outnumbering this team fight? I don't want you to go and your support roamed mid and you're coming bottom. Now you're 2 versus 2. Your support should be there to make it a 3 versus 2, or go mid, make it a 3 versus 1. Do not ever try to take a team fight that is in the enemy's benefit, especially if there's unknown. If you know that you're outnumbering them, you're ganking bottom, your support is there, and your mid's coming, it's 4 versus 4 at max, but you see that their mid's mid. You know that it's 3 versus 4, unless their top teleports. So always try to take unfair fights in your advantage. And I think that people don't value anti-heal enough in this game. I'll show a clip here where the value of anti-heal goes off of more than just the characters, but also the items. So in this game here, we basically won this game for 1,600 gold. Here we had 2 people buy anti-heal. As Teemo, in the shrooms, if you hit 1 shroom and it's on apply, you apply it to everyone that hit that shroom. It's very valuable. So in this clip, you'll see we're versing a Mordekaiser with Conquer. That's for heal. He built a heal item. The Yasuo also built 2 heal items. And they have a Nami, which also heals. And she also built bonus healing items. So for 1,600 gold,
It was just everywhere. Look at the anti-heal, like I said.
we value
Gold. This item's now
3,000,
worthless. This item's now worthless.
3,200, so we're 6,200.
This item's half worth.
9,300 gold for 1,600. 9,300 gold for 1,600 gold. 9,300 gold and a rune. Your major rune is countered by 1,600 gold. I think that people really need to value anti-heal based off of the characters that you're versing and what they are going to build. If you can counter more than 2 champions with anti-heal, I believe you should build it. Especially if you have a character like Aatrox or Briar. These are two, I only live if I have heal. If you build anti-heal, they won't be worth anything, these 2 champions. And these are very impactful champions. People rage about these champions not dying. The gold that you get from towers, the first one is from ending out the early game. If you are winning the early game, go ahead and leave the tower and keep farming that lane. So if bottom lane is winning, they shouldn't kill the tower too fast, because then it makes it so that other person can now catch up and farm. So if top lane is losing heavily in the early game and they let the tower die, or if you go kill their tower, now there's a longer lane for them to farm off of. They're going to catch up and farm. They're going to catch up in levels. Take account of where the towers are, where you are in the game. Will it help you taking the tower? Most of the times, yes. Sometimes, if your laner is winning the lane hard enough and they want to stay in the lane, go ahead and let them choose when to take it. Here's just a big clip of what you could do with Teemo here. They are taking the dragon. We are losing this game. I am 2-2-2, and this is an emerald game. You know, all the games I play are emerald or diamond. I smite the dragon. They walk on the first room I threw. I throw another one. They walk onto that one. All I have is boots and a dagger. And I stole the dragon and got a triple kill. This is how Teemo can change a team fight. Can Teemo change a team fight? Oh yeah. Now that's Teemo changing a team fight. Alright, so here's another time where here's another show of where Teemo can easily change the tide by one shroom showing the team fight and then making easy pickings to win the team fight. So here I am finishing the blue. I come over and I see that we're getting engaged on. I throw one shroom. Look at that shroom. Ready? Hold on. Boom. 4 people hit it. They now have to back off. All of them are bleeding. Half-life. Anti-healed. So now Diana, we know she's down here. Fiora teleported. Sure. I'll throw a shroom on you. Fiora gets a kill. So look, I'm 4, 11, and 14. I'm not on top of the world. And the team fight's probably won from there, right? Okay, here's the final game that I got to Diamond with Teemo Jungle. We're going to talk about how to clear, where you should be, at what point, when to back, and what you're trying to aim for. How to throw the shrooms so you understand where they should be thrown. And at the end of the day, you should easily be able to get gold with this jungle path. Over and over, you're going to use the same runes, and it's just straightforward. Anyone should be able to learn jungle. I want my people that are brand new, my friends that just started, to be able to get in jungle and feel confident in gold games. So I start, as I said, we're always going to play for the bottom side. So I start by watching my bottom side jungle and then rotating up to my blue side and starting my blue side and clearing down towards my bottom. I am always going to do a complete full clear. That means all the way to level 4. I'm going to clear every single camp all the way until I get to bottom, and then hopefully, if the jungler is not too fast, I can show up. Well, here he gripped that guy and handed out a free kill. So I came bottom before I got level 4, and now I see that he's getting this scuttle crab. We don't get it because we're not fast enough, so I have to return and get level 4 down bottom. Before you back on every single time, you are going to want to get 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold, so that way you can buy, as you see, every single time, boots, runins, recurve bow, and the scanner. And if you can, you have 1,075, buy a pink ward. As I discussed earlier, I believe that this is pink, is the perfect pink ward is a free into diamond because you help with the extra vision and you will catch people off guard more times than you could count. Yes, it costs you a little bit of your gold, but you will make up for it in the long run. I promise you. And the perfect gold pink ward, I'll show you at the very end of the video. So we're just going to go back and we're going to go straight back to clearing. Now, because I said we were going to play for bottom and we were going to play for dragon and we need the tempo, we're not going to clear our gromp because we're trying to go back for bottom. They're already ahead and we know that we can secure dragon. You want to get level 5 before you go to any first objective. Make sure that you are level 5 because if you're not level 5, the enemy jungle will be level 5 and you will lose in levels. So we're going to clear the 2 inside camps and then we're going to go straight for either bottom or dragon. Sorry about that. So we get level 5. Oh, we didn't get a scuttle. So we didn't get level 5. So now mid has died. They have lost the priority. We cannot go for dragon. I'm trying to hold mid to get level 5. Now I am level 5. I can go and try to battle their jungler. We see that their jungler is not doing it because Blitzcrank ordered it. I check for the other scuttle to see if he did it. Our top laner died. He's teleporting back. I'm going to go ahead and get my gromp because now I am on this side of the map. And if he took the dragon, then I can now counter jungle his jungle. I'm going to kill the ward. I'm going to get some vision. We don't know where he's at. More than likely he's bottom. So I continue to spam ping my bottom lane saying, please be careful. Their jungler is not showing. He comes mid. Okay. Now he's going to go back towards bottom, and I now got his red for free. So I'm going to now try to battle him. Nope. I'm going to go ahead and take the safe route because my top laner does not want to fight. You need to listen to your team. If your team says they have waves crashing, they need to go. You can't force them to go. They need to be able to play how they see to win. Mentality is everything in this game, and if you give people bad mentality, they'll give it right back and they'll play like junk. You want people to be on the top of their game. Positive, 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 positive. Tell them, damn, what a nice play, dude. Good work, bro. Be positive. We're down here. We're 2-4, but I feel like we're winning. I'm so ahead of this guy. He doesn't even know it yet. He just barely found out that his red was gone. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to try to fight him at his blue. Why wouldn't I? I know that my red's safe. Look at, I took his blue. And I died of the Anivia. Oh well. I'm so far ahead of their jungler at this point that he's just trying to catch up. He has CS, but it's his own laner's CS. Because I've taken, the only thing he's taken is one bird camp. So throughout the whole game, basically all I'm going to show is you just continue to try to farm. So if I'm falling behind in CS, you'll see that I'll say, hey guys, it's time for me to farm, especially after there's a long pause in between objectives. If an objective is down for 4 minutes, that is your golden ticket to go say, hey guys, I can't come to the team fights. I'm going to farm. I need my items to be able to keep up in scaling with the rest of the team. Okay? So here are the positions that I am talking about for how to throw the best shrooms, where to place the wards, how to make the game just absolutely easy for your entire team where you're going to get kills while you're not even around. The perfect placement for the pink ward to get free diamond, we're going to go ahead and show you. You see this bush here? It's on both sides. We'll call that the corner store. And basically you want to open your own corner store. You want to put it all the way on the edge. You see this? all the way on the edge. So that way you can see this side of the bush and this side of the bush. If they place something there, you should be able to see it. If they place something here, you should be able to see it. That's on both sides. Open your corner store as you're going to take objectives. When the dragon's coming up, I want you to show up. I want you to back at least a minute or 45 seconds before. So that way you're there 30 to 20 seconds before it starts. I want you to put your pink ward. Open your corner store. I want you to put a shroom next to where people will walk, but not where they will place wards. You want them to hit it prior to scanning for where they think that a ward would be. So right here, they're going to think that a ward to scan and a shroom's going to be in the bush. So you put it prior. Now they're scanning. Now they get to clear maybe one ward. Same thing here. These are close to the wall because people are going to try to avoid the middle, thinking that shrooms are in the middle. They're going to try to avoid your shrooms. So you put them in positions that they can't. Close enclosures. You see this little spot right here? Boom. It's so hard to skirt that wall. Same right here. It's another good one. And I just want you to keep thinking about in between the walls. Here's another one. Here's another one. And yeah, you could put them in the bushes. I put them in the bushes when I think that somebody's about to invade me. If I think that someone's coming around this way, I'll throw a shroom right here in hopes that, okay, that gives me a warning, they're now slowed and I can fight. But if you're fighting for your teammates, let's say that you're bottom and refresh cooldowns, then after you team fought, you just ganked. Now, let's say that before you back, you want to throw one somewhat for them to be able to get a kill. Something like this. All these are good. In the bushes, so as they're fighting, maybe they walk into the bush trying to get away and they get hurt. Up against the walls on your side, because they're going to scan or throw a pink next to their side. You want to think where their range of the ward is. So if they put a pink in here, well, let's go ahead and put it. Look, you can see the range of the ward is going to go right about to the edge of here. So we're always going to put them right on the edge of the dragon pit as we come to take the dragon. Anytime you come to take the dragon, you want to put one on each side and then go ahead and pull the dragon. And anytime you are on this side of the map, on the top side, red side, I want you to go ahead and hit the dragon, pull it all the way out by standing on this wall, and it will end up right up and jump over and land. If they're coming from this side, I want you to go ahead and fight it in the dragon pit, and I want you to throw one right there. So if they do jump over the wall, they're gonna hit that, and they're gonna be slowed and maybe anti-healed. And if you're gonna take dragon and you're very early, and there's you're gonna want to come over here. You're gonna want to try to scan for wards, and you're gonna want to clear their red fruit, their red plant. Same thing here. If you're early, this is a good one. You could throw it there because you think they're gonna come and hit the red plant. You're gonna hit the red plant so they don't have it. And sure, and a lot of the times you can play for bottom if they're coming dragon. So you showed up early. They're coming over here, through here. Well, you expect them to come down here. So you're already throwing those shrooms and you're playing for down here. You're going to say, okay, try that one. You're going to throw them up next to the wall where they have to very easily hug the wall. This one, another good one, because you think they're going to come through this way. Anytime you think they're going this way, boom, he's going to hit that one. And those can sit there forever. Same thing in mid. You just ganked mid, you got some extra shrooms. Hey, give them another free gank. Here you go. Here's one. Hey, there's a couple ganks. All right, perfect. Here's one right here. We're going to throw them over here. Boom. It's the same thing all over. When you go to take it, look at, let people think that that's a heal. Let them think that's a heal. That ain't a heal, dude. Put them next to the walls. They're going to hug the walls. They're going to try to get out. Come in top. Oh, you want a little vision in that bush? Oh, look, Kha'Zix is in that bush. Back away, back away. Give you a little defense. When you're throwing shrooms, it's the same as when you're throwing a ward. Are you throwing an offensive ward or a defensive ward? Are you throwing an offensive shroom or a defensive shroom? Right here in between the blue, how do you skirt that? That one's horrible. You need to put it a little bit more. If you could put it more like right here, you can't because it bounces. But you know what I mean? You just want to make the minimum amount of walk space that you can. Another thing is when they come to take Baron, if you're on a red side, even if you're blue side, if you can make it back here, you can stop Baron very easily, especially if you have anti-heal. You go up here, you throw a shroom. Okay, they didn't clear. Okay, they did clear. Okay, throw another one. Just keep throwing them. Oh, look. Boom. Now they're exploding. They're anti-heal. They're anti-magic. Baron's smoking them. You just stopped the Baron. Maybe you didn't steal the Baron, but you definitely stopped it. This is a very easy to happen tactic that I've used multiple times to stop the Baron. Just throwing shrooms. Same thing with Dragon. Coming over here, you see that shroom? We're just going to bounce it off there, and it's going to land somewhat here-ish on top of their feet. So when it comes to team fights, same thing. You're not aiming for where the people are. You're aiming for, honestly, you'll see that the minions are 100% predictable. They cannot change where the minions walk. As they're walking with those minions, throw it on the side. Wait for those minions to come. You want to see some really good cheesy ones? As they're pushing the wave, put it on these. Look at these. They think it's going to be in the middle. They think we're going to try and stop minions. I'm not trying to stop minions. I'm trying to stop you, boy. So you're going to come here, and you're going to be pushing, and you'll be like, oh, man, I got it back. Boom. Oh, man, I'm bleeding everywhere here. I'm just saying, like, people think that you're going to put it for the shrooms are not meant for minions. Do not use your shrooms for minions except for to clear these rocks, the golems, only if you're trying to gain tempo and you have extra shrooms that you don't have a place for them. A really, really good one that I have plenty of clips is right here. Why? Because the minions come in as people are pushing, they come in a straight line. And they line up right here. And then the person comes in and they push with the minions. Boom! There goes the minions and that person. Almost all the time. It happens in every lane. You can put it down here. Just watch where the minions walk. If you really don't know where to put it, like this one, it has like a little circle. And they change seasons. There was a square last season. It was very easy. They'll change from season to season. Just watch where the minions walk up. You'll see. And just place it just a little bit to the side of them. Let them walk just past it. So that way when the person comes in, that shroom is meant for them. Okay? And the same thing up here. You know, if they cleared this tower, here, you know, I'm going to show you all the spots. When you're counter jungling, if you're the red team, boom, throw one here and here. Yes, this is one spot that if they scan, they'll hit this one, they'll scan, and they'll get this one. But that is fine because there's also often a lot of times a ward here or a ward there. And then they don't get to scan this one. Boom, they hit it again. Boom, they missed to scan that ward now. One of my favorites right here. Who thinks of that? You're coming out of here, you think you're going to get one in this bush. Nope, sorry, you hit it. You didn't scan early enough, bud. Okay? So we're trying to get them. I mean, here's an alright one. It's not the best. They expect it there. It works if they're already coming through there. But, like, just know that the small pass. So when you see Otacon spawn, you'll see a small gap. That is one of the best shroom gaps they've created. So you'll throw it like on the side of those places. You'll see that there's like a little wall right here, and you'll throw it on the edges. And so once again, like, you know, if it's coming to team fights, when it comes to everybody coming in, you're gonna throw it not where you think that they are. You're gonna throw it for their feet where they're gonna be. So if they're all coming in to fight you, they're gonna be coming towards you. Let's say that they're coming this way. All right, so you throw it there. And they're going to hit that one. Now, if they are insane and they take a wide turn, maybe they saw you through it. Maybe they scan it, whatever. But you'll see here, I'll show you another clip. We'll go ahead and leave that game. How to throw the perfect shroom. All right, look, this is it. So as I'm coming up, I'm still killing my blue. What I'm thinking is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to disengage. This is a defensive shroom. We are pulling away. They are going to come towards us. So I throw it where they are going to walk. Now, if we're pushing in, it's a lot harder, of course. That doesn't mean that you can't throw them on your own feet, thinking that they are going to jump on you as you guys are pushing in. A lot of the times you will do that, saying, okay, this Diana is going to come on me. She's not going to land pause. She's going to jump on me, and she's not going to land on this one because she's going to dodge it. Well, I could have also thrown it on myself if I thought she was going to do that. But I think that they're all going to come in and engage. They hit it. Now they're on the defensive, and they're going to pull back. Okay? Makes easy sense. Now we're able to come around and get the Diana for free. As a team, we stay with our support. Our support sees, we make sure we ping. Everybody comes to help, and we get a free kill. Diana goes down. Now, even with them having 15 more kills than us, we win this team fight because now it is a 4 versus 5. The shrooms can change the whole dynamic of the team fight very quick. I want to talk about tempo and how to keep it. The best way to keep tempo is to have your team help you. Your support can help you by killing any of the camps. And if the support is helping you, continue to stay with that support. He will build you more tempo than you can build by yourself. All right, now I want to say heavily, please don't be one of those junglers that gets caught up in trying to control the map, trying to gank, where you're heavily behind. You're trying to help a losing lane win. Winning a winning lane is much easier than winning a losing lane, and winning in farm is much easier than trying to beat these lanes. If you continue to farm and you are out farming the other jungler, then you will outscale the other jungler just based off of, especially if they pick low end picks that don't scale well in the late game. Basically, if the other jungler is ahead in CS, I want you to focus on farming. I put no value on Herald. I do not think you should ever put high value on Herald, like I said before, unless you are behind and it is a bonus objective. The mid-game jungle mindset, I want you to just focus on getting dragon. Secure the objectives. Make sure that you're taking uneven team fights, 4 versus 3s, 3 versus 2s. I want you to keep taking advantage of your numbers and making them question, why is their team not there? Common mistakes is do not overgank, do not ignore your farm, do not fight without vision. If you are not certain what's about to happen, you don't know where their jungler's at, you think that it's going to be a 3 versus 3, but their jungler could be there, then it's probably a 4 versus 3, and they're probably going to try to bait you into an uneven fight in their favor. Now, I want you to take takeaways from this. I want you to try to keep heavy idea of what the enemy jungle is looking like, where their location is. Try to make sure you're telling your team where they are by giving warning signals. Now, if the enemy jungler is in a bad position, I want you to try to counter jungle them by taking either the chickens or their buff, or both, or just the blue buff. And if they continue to be out of position, I want you to continue to put pressure onto their buffs until their team starts to relay and come to help their jungler. Because you can easily just beat the jungler and win the game. If the jungler can't farm his own jungle and you're farming his jungle, he can't come into your jungle because he will need help. If they start to help him get into the jungle, then he can come back. But if you're constantly putting him down, he's always 10 CS, 20 CS, slowly falling behind because you're taking his jungle and your jungle is still up, that's fine. Let your jungle be alive. That's free farm that you know is secure. You can always come and get. Last but not least, engagement with Teemo. You know, you're heavily relying on a tank or an engager. So if you don't have a tank or an engager, try to wait for them to engage off of shrooms. Somebody that's an assassin, that after a shroom can pop, they can kill that one person. Then it's a 5 versus 4, and the fight's in your favor from there on. One last thing I think that everybody should know this, is the type of trinkets that you should get. As a jungler and a support, you should 100% always, 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 always get the red scanner, because your job is to clear wards as a support, and a jungler, you must clear the wards to be able to get in there and gank. Now, you might only clear the ward and give pressure saying, hey, I'm here, watch out. But they don't know if you're gone or not. But because you cleared that ward, they now have to take pressure off of their lane and try to put that ward back. It's so valuable. You must take it. Same thing with an AD carry. You're too weak to be walking up and putting a ward down. Take the blue ward. Take the blue ward. You can put it down from long range. You can tell us whether they're taking dragons and other objectives. Please get the blue ward. Mid and top, you get to choose. Welcome. Hey. Free lanes. If you have high attack speed or you're a roamer, you're going to want the red ward, the red scanner, because this will give you an opening to put pressure on the lane even if they have a ward. Sometimes you can scan and you can walk right over the ward and enter without them even noticing that you scanned the ward. And if you have high attack speed, you can clear more wards, giving your team more vision than the enemy. Now, if you're a weak caster or a ranged unit, top or mid, go ahead and grab the blue one. And if you're just like an all-over good kind of caster, bruiser, whatever, you can hold the yellow one and help your team get more vision across the map. As a top and mid, you get to choose. Typically, the yellow is what most people should probably hold to help get more vision across the map. Unless you are, like I said, a high ganker, roamer, or high attack speed to help clear more wards and put pressure onto those extra lanes. Thank you all. If you learned anything from this video, please like, subscribe, and share it to your friends so they can get the hell out of silver and iron. Let's get it, baby. Have a good one, boys. Alright, so here's a rundown on the actual guide on how to jungle Teemo. I'm going to make it very simple. You take the same runes every time. You put your shrooms in the same places. They're very easy to understand. As long as you take this route and you stick to it, you make sure that you're farming. If you're not over ganking and you stick to leveling and farming, you will win games. Thank you all. If you learned anything from this video, please like, subscribe, and share it to your friends so they can get the hell out of silver and iron. Let's get it, baby. Have a good one, boys. The perfect placement for the pink ward to get free diamond, we're going to go ahead and show you. You see this bush here? It's on both sides. We'll call that the corner store. And basically, you want to open your own corner store. You want to put it all the way on the edge. You see this? All the way on the edge. So that way you can see this side of the bush and this side of the bush. If they place something there, you should be able to see it. If they place something here, you should be able to see it. That's on both sides. Open your corner store as you're going to take objectives. When the dragon's coming up, I want you to show up. I want you to back at least a minute or 45 seconds before. So that way you're there 30 to 20 seconds before it starts. I want you to put your pink ward. Open your corner store